Hi, Ralph.
Hey there, Maxwell. How are you?
How are you doing today? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas! Yes.
What do you have to tell us today, Ralph?
Oh, well, I wasn't given a script or anything. It's a little unprofessional, Brandon, but that's okay. You can watch the Film Physics Christmas special. That is youtube.com/Brandon Hanna. And if you like Christmas, which I love Christmas, yes, get through that.
You are the opposite of the Grinch, Ralph.
I don't like the Grinch very much. He's very sad.
And you're very happy?
I really am happy. Sometimes my voice sounds different than other times. So today it's a little different, but that's okay because I just try really hard. I have sinus problems like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I get it.
There doesn't seem to be airflow into your nostril area, so I completely understand.
Some people say I kind of sound like Ray Romano.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Robert!
Well, Ralph, everyone does love Raymond.
And everybody loves Ralph. Thank you so much, Ralph.
No, thank you. And watch Box whichever day it comes out.
Well, it's a very happy Monday here at the PJ Campbell Network and happy International Women's Day to all the women in our lives and all the women out there in the world. Once again, my name is PJ Campbell and I am here joined with my friend Maxwell. Hi, friend.
I'm sorry, what did you call this place?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You changed the name.
We all decided yesterday, and if you missed the announcement on our Discord or our social media platforms, things are a little different now. Welcome to the Mahookin, the Maxwell Hadhead Creativity Network.
I can go. It's fine.
No one's saying you have to go. It's just been a slight name change. That's all.
Well, it's better than the Chris Clark, whatever network.
Chris Clark Comedy Network.
Yeah, that's true. How are you, friend? On this
I'm okay.
Monday, it's the first. Is this the first Monday watch along we've done
in March?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember.
Yes. Well, this is our first watch along back after our spring break.
Spring break, woo! Yeah,
Whoop, whoop.
that's how it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
definitely.
Before we get into it, because we're gonna watch this really excellent film, The Rider, which, by the way, is streaming for free on Pluto TV if you don't own it, which is really great and really convenient for all of us. Do we have any other things coming up on the Mahookin?
We have a lot coming up. Tomorrow night is Book 2. This is a book club style show hosted by Dwayne Burke and myself. We're being joined by Aiden Cossack as our guest tomorrow to discuss Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is a fantastic young adult fantasy novel epic. So even if you haven't read it, come hang out with us tomorrow and maybe our discussion will inspire you to read it. But if you have read it, certainly be there so you can engage with us in the chat. That'll be at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. I'm super, super excited for it. I loved the book. I am working on the sequel now, although I stopped reading the sequel until after the show because I didn't want what I know about what happens next to influence my discussion for what happened in the first book.
Smart.
So yes, but let's see. Wednesday night, Suddenly Soundtracks is back with a new show called Off the Record. What Off the Record is it's essentially the original format of Suddenly Soundtracks, but instead of doing it for a soundtrack, they do it for an album. So Chris and the panel are going to go through Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, track by track, discuss each song, give it a rating on the patented Suddenly Soundtrack scale from Skip It all the way up to Hard Rockin'. And this was picked by our wonderful gold tier producer, Sean Wingblade. Thank you, Sean, for your support.
Thank you, Sean.
Hopefully you enjoy this episode. I know how much you like Linkin Park, and especially Chester Bennington. May he rest in peace. Thursday night, I don't have a thumbnail yet, but Thursday night, Front Center Mez is back with our guest, Andrew Kober. He is confirmed. I am a huge, huge fan of Andrew. I think he's an incredibly talented performer. He's been on Broadway in Hair, in She Loves Me, in all sorts of fun stuff. He was off Broadway in Alice by Heart. He was in School of Rock for years. He was in the ensemble, and he also was an often understudy for Dewey, and he got to go on as Dewey a bunch of times.
Amazing.
So just so many incredible credits. I'm really excited to talk about him. I saw a cabaret show he did years ago called Cobaret.
Cobaret?
A really clever spin on his name.
Yeah.
And my
Amazing.
favorite part about it, and I want to ask him about this on Thursday, but my favorite part about it was a whole section where how in college he had to come out as straight because he was in the musical theater department and would go around singing Sondheim all the time. So unfortunately, everyone assumed he was gay, which just goes to show you never judge anyone by anything until you actually know them. But yes, that's Thursday. That's going to be awesome. Friday, our watch-alongs continue for Women Filmmaker Month with a Patreon pick. We are watching The Invitation by the great, incredibly talented filmmaker Karen Kusama. This is available on Netflix, so nice and easy for everyone to stream. And I know Brandy will be happy to hear this because for whatever reason, the previous films Brandy has picked, I have mostly been middling on. I love this movie. I've seen this movie a couple times. I'm really excited for more people to see it who maybe haven't seen it. Have you seen it, PJ?
Yeah, I love this movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I ended up paying a lot of money because I don't think it was released here. I think I had to import it if I remember correctly, at least at a time.
It's a trip. It's a trip of a movie.
And it's a movie that...
really...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You've seen it a couple of times, right?
I have.
Oh, and look who else is going to be there on Friday.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
It's a movie that has a very different feel almost every time you watch it.
It's a movie of secrets, and when it's not like there's a big twist. I don't want anyone to think there's like a big twist. However, once you have the full context of what happens, and then you go back and watch it again, you notice other things.
It's so dope. I freaking love this movie.
It's a great, great movie. So let's see what else we got going on. So as you know, WandaVision has come to a close. We were going to take this week off of Water Cooler Chat. However, we may actually come on and just talk the state of the MCU and thoughts about the upcoming Falcon and Winter Soldier. I know Dwayne had requested that. I don't see why we can't do that. So I think we'll do that. But speaking of Water Cooler, next week, we'll be starting up with our Falcon and the Winter Soldier recap and reviews. These are always live on Saturday afternoons at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern. I loved WandaVision with all my heart, but I'm still incredibly excited for this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a more action heavy show. I think it's going to be a little more straightforward in its storytelling, but there's so many elements. I'm so jazzed to see Emily Van Camp back and looking like she gets to kick ass. I am a huge fan of her, have been since Everwood. I've watched every TV show she's ever been on. Revenge. Yep. Now she's on The Resident.
She's great.
Ellen Kerriman, who played Enfy's Nest in Solo: A Star Wars Story, is a major supporting character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And of course, the return of Daniel Bruhl as Captain Baron Zemo, excuse me.
Also, Wyatt Russell.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
I love Wyatt Russell. I just think his character is going to be a real jerko, so I'm not getting excited.
He 100% is. There's no way he's not, but I love Wyatt. I think he's super talented. He is really the best parts of both Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, which makes sense because he's their son. But like, dude is so talented. I can't wait to see him.
I agree with that because, like in the movie Overlord, he is an awesome action hero. And in 22 Jump Street, he's hilarious. So he has, not that Kurt wasn't funny, but his delivery reminded me of Goldie. So PJ is wearing a Black Lodge t-shirt, which is also Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, baby.
I I want to give a huge shout out to our patrons. Unfortunately, there's no graphic tonight, but from our executive producers to our gold tier producer to our producers, I could probably remember everyone's name, but just know we love you. We thank you for your support. We could not do this without you. If you want to join our Patreon, take a look, see if there's a tier that's right for you. All sorts of fun stuff. We have a Discord. Get to vote on upcoming content every month. The patrons get to vote on a watch-along. We do exclusive monthly Ask Me Anything, our Q&A streams, early access to pre-recorded content, and behind-the-scenes content. So I know that we have a couple episodes of Bloop Bloop coming up in the next few weeks. These are the bloopers shows of Box Box. I know they take a little bit longer to make than even Box Box does. So, and talking about scheduling, I want to apologize from the bottom of my heart that we weren't able to get you guys audio commentary for February. As I'm sure you all know, PJ has been incredibly busy with the start of the Schmodown season into full gear, and we took last week off. But we will be delivering 2 commentaries in March. One next week, which will be Down with Love, which was the film we promised for February. I know that Teresa is going to join us for that, maybe James as well. And then we'll pick another film to do in March. That will be another film directed by a woman that I was hoping to get for a watch along, that there simply aren't enough weeks. I have some ideas on that. I'll confirm with PJ, but you will be getting 2 audio commentaries this month.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And like Maxwell said, guys, like I can't tell you how sorry we are. Maxwell knows I've been like so tired and just trying to get through the weeks because there's been so much happening. So we will get there, I promise. And things will start to smooth out a little bit once the season is like more in full swing. But
yeah, and we haven't officially announced this yet, but it's not a secret. Starting in May, we're going to be doing only 1 watch along a week. Whether that's a Monday or a Friday will really be dependent upon the schedule and if there's a Schmodown pay-per-view on Friday nights. Yeah. I think once a week is a sweet spot. I think especially as the pandemic is, fingers crossed, winding down, more and more things are opening. People are getting back to some sense of the regular. Once a week is the way to do it. And that means that if our wonderful executive producers continue on, all movies every month will be picked by patrons, the 3 executive producer movies, and then the 4th one will be by Patreon vote. On the rare case where there's an extra Monday in a month, like if a month has 5 Mondays or 5 Fridays, we may end up throwing in another one because some months, the way the weeks shake out, are longer than others. But generally speaking, that is how we're going to go forward in May. But that also means we'll have more time to work on some other stuff. We have some scripted content we've been trying to find the time for and haven't been able to find the time yet. We're still going to have Book Nook and Suddenly Soundtracks and Front Center Mez and the Water Cooler Chat.
And a couple of other cool new things, too.
Yeah, we're going to have more Fight Club coming for you this summer. It's really just been hard to get that stuff done with the packed schedules. But we do have a new box coming for you next week. This is called Drunk Drunk. It is a St. Patrick's Day / alcohol themed episode. I remember nothing. So whatever may be in there is as much of a surprise for me as it is for you. Finally, on Wednesday, March 24th, if you can believe it, it is the 1-year anniversary of the PJCN. And by that, I mean the MHCN. So come and join us. You could see here on this thumbnail just some of the amazing contributors and faces we've had on the channel over the last year. There's so many other people we've had as guests, and our hope is that at this epic celebration, that who knows what it's going to be, but it'll probably last for hours and involve lots of alcohol. We're hoping to get all sorts of special guests. I want to get some of the POV crew on there. I want to get Kaiser to come hang out for a bit if he's free. We'll see who else is available.
I'm going to try to talk to one Mr. Baby Carrots and see if he might stop by, since he's been a presence here before as well. Yeah. So,
it's going to be really fun. And again, cannot reiterate enough how we would not have made it this far if not for you guys. That's right, you.
All of you.
If you watch these videos, thank you. But if you watch it, that's not good enough. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
Leave a comment if you felt like it.
Leave a comment. A nice one's only. We don't want negative comments. We're going to watch The Rider by Chloe Zhao. I saw this film twice in theaters. I own it on Blu-ray. It made my top 10 of 2018. Chloe was nominated for Best Director at the Independent Spirit Awards. It was nominated for Best Film at the Independent Spirit Awards. It won the Gotham Award for Best Film. It's very similar to Nomadland in its aesthetic and approach. It's incredibly naturalistic. The one thing that sets this apart from Nomadland is in Nomadland, you have Frances McDormand and David Strathairn joining a cast of non-actors. This film, everyone is a non-actor. So the lead guy, whose name is Brady Gendreau, yes, the same last name as Coy. I don't know if they're related or not. Who knows? Is basically playing a thinly veiled version of himself. It's heavily inspired by his experiences working in rodeos, training horses, and every single person you see on screen, this was their first time acting. And that sounds like it could be a recipe for disaster and cheesiness. There's something about Chloe's work that I think makes some of the most intimate, beautiful, impressive films of the last 5 or 6 years. If there anything you want to say about this before we dive in, and again, it's available for free on Pluto.tv. You don't even need an account. Just search for The Rider or click on dramas. It's right there. Yeah. Easy to watch.
This movie blew me away the first time I saw it. I haven't really revisited it since, not out of any like spite or anything. Just it's a really incredible film, and I am super excited to rewatch it. Like I think it's remarkable what she managed to do, getting so many people who had never acted and made this movie.
Yeah, I also think, and we'll talk all about it, of course, the cinematography, Joshua James Richards, who also shot Nomadland, is so beautiful, and the way he uses natural lighting and frames these incredible natural vistas. It reminds me of some of what Malick does in some of his films. It's just really extraordinary. So if you've never been here before, welcome. If you are a return viewer, welcome back. My friend here, PJ, is going to start a countdown from 5. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And on play, we will start watching Chloe Zhao's The Rider.
All right, guys, I'm going to count down. As long as you guys are ready, let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Sony Pictures Classics.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've ever watched anything on Pluto before.
I don't know if I've watched anything on Pluto before. I own this movie on Blu-ray and on iTunes, but I decided to do the Pluto experience, so we're all on the same page.
I think that's good. I need to get this on Blu-ray. I was
scanning through Pluto. It has a lot of interesting stuff.
Well, when we were talking about it recently, I feel like we found out something was streaming on here that surprised me, and I don't remember what it was now. Because you guys don't understand how often we just sit on.
I just want to say, by the way, I saw Mike K said on Facebook, this is a first time watch for him. One of my favorite things about our watch-alongs is when someone joins us to watch a film they haven't seen before. I love cinema and I love books and stories, and my favorite thing about it is getting to introduce stories that I love to other people.
100%.
So that always makes me really happy.
The cinematography in this is just gorgeous.
Unbelievably stunning. Matt said he had never heard of this film until last night. Well, I think it's great to watch this also because Nomadland is on its way towards many Oscar nominations. Yep. If you haven't seen it, it's available on Hulu. It gets my highest recommendation. It was my top film of 2020. And also, we love the MCU around here. Chloe Zhao's next film is Marvel's The Eternals.
Yes, and she went in and pitched the movie to Feige, not the other way around. They didn't go looking for her. She went looking for them, which is so dope. And they had not really planned on doing Eternals until she walked into the office and pitched it.
If Chloe Zhao walks into my office, I am signing up to produce whatever project she has.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because, we've talked about this before, right? One of the things about Feige is that he's so bent on making sure that he does stuff filmmakers want to do, which is why, he'd wanted to do Blade, but he waited until someone came in and said, I would like to do Blade, before they moved on it.
Yeah, it's a bit dicey here in the beginning. Sorry, guys.
You forget sometimes. It just so like.
It's so raw, you know?
Yeah. But that's what makes it so good. And I think, again, a big part of it is also having people who have just really never acted. And so it's real emotion. It's real, like.
Well, I think, you know, as I sort of hinted at the beginning, like, there are scenarios where you make a movie with no real actors and it's terrible. And I think what makes Chloe special is she has an eye for who's compelling.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the full story, but from what I understand, she spent a lot of time on the Pine Ridge Reservation, which is the Lakota Sioux type of Native Americans, just observing the people, learning about them, and the story found her as opposed to the other way around.
Right.
Which is very similar to what she did with Nomadland. Nomadland is based on a novel, but still, in her construction of adapting it to a film, she spent time with the nomads. She went to their places. She took it all in and let the story come to her instead of just writing it out, which
is really amazing.
Yeah.
It also shows how awesome she is as a filmmaker and as a storyteller. She's like found a way to really bring a lot of that to life in what she's doing.
There's a lot of scenes in this film, and we'll get to it, and I'll point it out, where it's really just shots of this guy training or learning how to train horses.
Yeah.
And there's something so poetic just about the way you can tell he's communicating with the horses, his movement. And Chloe had said in interviews that she sort of just let the camera roll and whatever happened. So it's really has a really heavy beautiful element of documentary to it, even though the narrative storytelling is fictional. Yeah, I agree with this, Mike. Her understanding of the human condition is remarkable. I think her and also Barry Jenkins really excel at that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a throwback in a way to some of the 70s filmmaking and stuff, guys like Altman and Scorsese, who really understood the human condition in a way that a lot of people didn't, even Coppola, right? Like that's what made the 70s so interesting for filmmaking. But this one's a little different because you're using people out for the world, not people that you're finding in casting offices.
Yeah, I agree. I've tried chew, as they say, exactly once in my life.
Never.
And I accidentally swallowed it and I was throwing up for like an hour.
Ugh,
Not a good night. No. Never again.
Just in general, chew is not the best anyway, so it's probably better it went that way for you. But oh god, I'm so
honestly,
sorry.
I never experienced it until I went to college, and it was actually kind of popular in my college in freshman year. A bunch of people in my dorm did it because you could do it
right
in your dorm room and not smoke, which you couldn't smoke inside.
It's real similar. I grew up, I've talked about it in a small town past Sacramento, close to Tahoe. And it was a heavy cowboy-esque type school, lots of FFA. And even in high school, a lot of the kids around me chewed for that same reason. Because they grew up on farms and they grew up in ranches and stuff.
This is real footage of him in the rodeo.
Just crazy, man.
Yeah. I've been to a couple rodeos. I grew up in South Florida for a lot of it, and just a couple hours away, there were towns that had pretty heavy rodeo culture.
Yep.
And sometimes they would travel through, so I don't pretend to be an expert or know that much about it, but I've been to a few in my life, and it's really fun. The culture of it is fascinating.
Yeah, it's a totally
different world. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I've gone to a couple
bull riding. Man, so cool.
Yeah. I'd love to go to more once the world gets back to normal, because it is just an experience that you're not really ready for until you go. Oh my God.
Oof. Yeah, people get really hurt in rodeo life.
Yeah. It's scary, man. And horses pack a punch, man. Like, it's going to hurt you.
Yes. As she said in the chat, my wife knows quite a bit more about rodeo and rodeo culture than I do. So this is Brady, the actor's real father and real sister.
Mm-hmm.
His sister is autistic, and anytime a filmmaker casts someone who's not autistic to play an autistic role because they say they can't get the performance they want out of someone who's actually autistic, I will kindly point them to watch this film and then shove it.
I'm not kidding you. Right before we got on, I've been watching CSI, as you know, because I've been on this weird like deep dive as I work. And the episode I was watching before this had someone that was autistic, and I had the same thought where I was like, God,
to a certain point, I understand it in those long running procedural
I get it
TV
too.
shows, but in 2021, if you're making a film, especially if you're a pop star making a film about the autistic experience, maybe you should cast autistic people.
It was more just of a, even now, like you look at it now and it's like, sometimes I wonder.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But we as a people are also evolving, which is great.
What certain people like to call politically correct and woke, I call the natural evolution of culture.
And being better humans. Really.
Having more compassion and empathy.
Trying to be understanding to people's plight in life. Come on, guys.
There's something about, I was going to call him Coy because of gender. There's something about Brady, the lead actor here, that even without talking, I find so compelling. He has a sadness in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He has a presence that I find instantly captivating.
He's so soulful. And again, I think that
exactly.
there's something about choosing someone who's never acted and you're using real people for these things that just works. And I don't know exactly what it is, but you just find something so much more human in a way. And that's not to take away from our great actors, obviously. Like, there's so many incredible actors in the world, but when you get the right ones who have never acted, you just feel it, man.
I wonder, I don't think so. I don't think he's appeared in anything else.
I was really thinking that just now, if he had, and my assumption was no, but I could be wrong.
No, this is the only film he's been in.
Well, it's so real to his life though too, which also makes sense.
Sure.
Again, she found the story through them, not
right. And to the point, he's also credited as horse trainer on the film.
Yeah.
This was all filmed on Pine Ridge Reservation, which is in South Dakota. Like I said earlier, Chloe went to this reservation and the Dakotas and just spent time. Oh, there's a commercial.
Yeah, a commercial. We had the same thing happen.
We're all on it together, so that's fine. I guess that explains why Pluto is free.
Yeah.
What's your commercial? Cookie dough?
No, mine is for medication.
Mine was Sonic Cookie Dough.
Oh, perfect.
Now I have Doug Hirsch, co-founder of Good RX.
Amazing.
Hopefully the commercials are timed the same length.
I'm going to guess they are.
I'm hoping.
Mine is now Antique Roadshow UK.
I'm still on Good RX.
Yeah, that was a longer one. And back to the movie.
Back to the film.
Matt got Wendy's.
Matt got Wendy's. That's the best. I think that wins. I want to eat Wendy's.
Me too, man. I haven't had Wendy's in a bit.
Sorry, Mike. Mike's watching on Vudu, so he's a few seconds ahead.
That's all right. There's something so, again, you said it, and I think the word is totally right. It's raw, and even these moments like that, it just hits right.
I also think Chloe Zhao in both this and Nomadland is brilliant at visual storytelling. You don't always need dialogue to convey, the scene just a little bit earlier where he was watching himself and his injury on his phone. You know everything you need to know without dialogue.
Yeah. I mean, we hear people talk about all the time when people need exposition, and there's like exposition dumps in movies, and I think Chloe has so brilliantly found ways around that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind a big exposition dump in like an action movie or a sci-fi movie, but in this type of movie, it can be real clunky.
Which is what I'm very curious about with her doing Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Because her doing something like that, it's very different. So I'll be curious to see just how it comes together.
I'm so excited. I hope we see a trailer soon. It's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
I think whenever Black Widow ends up coming out, Black Widow, we'll see an Eternals trailer.
I 100% agree with you, because that Spider-Man and Shang-Chi, we should be getting trailers for.
Well, theoretically, we should get Shang-Chi first, because that's July.
Yeah. And I want to say, Eternals is November right now?
Yep, and then Spider-Man Christmas.
December, yeah. It's December 18th, I think.
I think Spider-Man at Christmas will make it the highest grossing of the trilogy.
I think so too, especially because the world will be much closer to being, or at least far along enough of being better.
Are you watching the movie, Liz? Answer in the chat. Or text me, or scream it from the other room.
Liz, and I totally agree, though, too. Like, I want to see how her style translates, especially a movie like that, which is, like, such an epic space opera type thing, and dealing with, like, Elder God type characters. Just fascinated.
I love how they're all staring at his head injury.
Yeah. That's just a scratch.
What's up, Danny Coast?
Danny... We all have those people in our lives who will wake you up no matter what and be like, get the fuck out of bed. We're going.
Even just this shot is so beautiful. The way it's framed, you can see the planes, the fire.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm hoping, and I know we're like talking ahead about Eternals and in this moment, but imagine a shot like that, but it's like infinite space, and you see giant versions of these like elder gods walking through space and stuff. I want that. I want that so badly.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Mike. But she is using Ben Davis, who shot Doctor Strange and Age of Ultron and Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel.
Awesome.
So I think he's talented, and I think it'll help having someone who shot for Marvel before. Although Joshua James Richards, who shot this in Nomadland, from what I understand, and don't quote me, I believe they're together.
Mm.
So
awesome.
I'm sure he worked on it in some capacity.
Brian, have y'all seen Coming to America, and what did you think? I did watch it, and I liked it quite a bit. I think that there's a lot of hyperbole being thrown around about that movie because people are very attached to the original, which is totally fair. I love the original. I grew up watching the original, but I also recognize what this one was trying to do, and I'm able to separate it from the original and enjoy it on its own terms.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, I think you guys should give it a chance if you haven't. And that's not to say if you don't like it, that's what, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was correct. Just to backtrack, Joshua James Richards, who shot this and Nomadland, worked as a camera operator on Eternals.
Oh, that's so
he
dope.
was still on set. He was still working with the cameras, so I'm sure it was very collaborative.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm going to guess it's going to feel like they're still working together.
And honestly, hearing he shot Doctor Strange and also Tim Burton's Dumbo, which I thought was a really good looking film, but I think Doctor Strange has some of the best cinematography in the entire MCU.
Well,
and he shot the first Guardians. Yeah. So
that first Guardians is next level gorgeous.
Yep.
Which is why I also liked Age of Ultron so much, because Age of Ultron cinematography is
I prefer the first Avengers to Age of Ultron overall, but no denying Age of Ultron looks so much better.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much of the dialogue in this, and maybe you can help me, how much of it was written and how much of it was them just leaving a camera on these guys.
I think it was a little bit of both. I think Chloe wrote a script, but she really let them express what they are feeling too.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, because it's sort of a chicken and egg situation. Because, like I said, so much of Chloe's creative process on this was spending time with the people and this land first.
Right.
So these could have been conversations that she had with them that she then put into the script.
Right.
So I don't know, 100%. I wonder if there's a commentary. I should listen to it if there is.
I don't know. I'm thinking of that now too. Like, I think this would be such a fascinating one to listen to be honest.
But I don't want to jinx it, but I do believe Chloe is going to be only the second woman to ever win the Best Director Oscar.
I hope so. I think that'd be so dope.
And the first woman of color.
Which would be such a nice change of pace.
And so well deserved.
I've got to be honest. I'm also real sad at the same time how badly Defy Bloods is starting to get snubbed pretty much across the board.
Yeah, Delroy Lindo is probably not going to get that nomination, and
that's a crime.
Yeah, especially in lieu of Gary Oldman in Mank, who I thought was fine.
Can I say my controversial opinion? I didn't really like Mank.
No, I know. We neither of us did.
No, I know but I'm saying out loud to the people. Because, I didn't enjoy Mank, and
I think it deserves 2 nominations, cinematography and supporting actors.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay. And I'm glad that people like it.
It is possible 2 or 3 women could be nominated for Best Director, though, because aside from Chloe Zhao, you got Emerald Fennell and Regina King, both in the race.
And if you guys have not seen One Night in Miami, oh my God.
Oh, and Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Promising Young.
Well, Promising comes on Blu-ray next week.
Yeah, but I already have it pre-ordered. Well, that's good to know, Mike. I felt like everyone was so high on it for so long, so...
I think its reception was more muted than anyone expected.
It also was just not... Like, I know that it was supposed to be a timely film, but I felt like it was not the film we needed right now from Fincher, and that's okay. He told the story that he had been dying to tell that his dad had written, and that's awesome.
And now he's going back to serial killers, so count me in.
Yep, 100%. I mean, look, I've made it no real secret that my favorite film of his is Zodiac. It's in my top 10 movies of all time. It's that good. So,
so here we have just scenes that are allowed to live and breathe in themselves.
Also, this song is dope.
It's a beautiful song. There's no rush. There's just a texture to the environment, to these characters. And now I have a Sonic commercial.
Mine is back to prescription drugs, and I don't know what that says about me.
God damn, I want a cheeseburger now. I am eating some salami, though, so it's kind of...
I finished my smoothie already, unfortunately, so now I'm just with the Powerade. Powerade with no sugar, in fact.
I have Diet Mountain Dew and salami.
I've been trying to have a really nice protein shake a day. And
I also ate something else a little earlier.
Ooh. I was going to, but I have to be up very early tomorrow, and that would
I thought Ma Rainey's was excellent. It was just outside my top 10. If I had made a top 15, it would have been in it. I'm a huge fan of August Wilson. I love this project that Denzel's taking on where he has the rights for all 10 of his Pittsburgh plays and is producing them. And I think, oh God, that shot.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And those
And the
horses, yeah.
Sorry, I thought George C. Wolfe, who directed it, did a fantastic job of making something that is very stagey feel alive. And the entire ensemble, not only Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman, but Glenn Turman and my guy Coleman Domingo, and that woman, the younger woman whose name I can't remember, were just fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really good movie on Netflix if you haven't seen it. Chadwick's going to win that Oscar, and you know, God dare anyone say he only won because he passed. His performances would have been nominated and maybe winning anyways.
Well, it's so interesting too because you and I actually talked about this on Front Center Mez with our last guest because we were talking about Chadwick because she knew him because they worked together a little. Yeah, they worked together, and what he did on stage and what he did in film was the same. It's why he was such a fantastic actor. Is he found the way to do those powerful performances that you could give on stage in a movie and play larger than life characters.
Yeah, I also just want to note, so Nathan Halpern wrote the score for this film, and it's really subtle, but I find it so intoxicating.
Yeah, it's a brilliant score.
For Nomadland, she actually used existing music from a composer who tweaked it a little bit, but it works so perfectly in the film, it doesn't matter. But I'm obsessed with these shots of nature and the score, these horses with the sun in the background. You just feel like she understands this place.
Yeah.
She gets it.
And she understands the people around her, too.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't be stated enough. She understands the human condition and humanity better than almost any filmmaker I've seen in a long time. And that's pretty remarkable considering she is a young filmmaker who is still like coming up on her own. And I think that's why Feige was so smart to make sure he got to work with her.
Ugh, I know it's probably so itchy. Don't itch your cut.
Oh.
I love this look with the sort of the bandana as a scarf or a tie
or ascot.
Yeah.
What I don't know what it is, but the thing with his hand, is so hard to watch.
I agree,
and it's the sound I think more than anything while it's happening. I like how delicately he puts the hat on.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure this would be his first time putting the getup back on since his accident.
Yeah. There's something about the human animal connection with animals like this that are just incredible.
Well, and like I was sort of saying earlier, you could tell that Brady genuinely has this connection with the animals.
It's like spending time with my dogs. I don't know. Like you just start to understand.
So this scene is so this guy Lane Scott was a real rodeo guy, real severe accidents. This is his current condition, and he agreed to be in this movie and all this stuff, and really incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
From what I understand, Lane Scott was actually quite accomplished and well known in the rodeo circuit.
Mm-hmm. In a way, it's kind of fantastic that she has him in this in a lot of ways, but like it also lets his legacy sort of live on, you know? Because if you start to look into him, you start to realize, oh my goodness, he really did a lot. And you forget, man, like the stuff that these people go through is life altering if they get hurt.
Yep.
I'm a pupper. Yeah, Mike, I agree. The real usage of footage from the rodeos and stuff is one of the most incredible parts of this, in my opinion.
Yep.
Because, again, you really get a feel for who these people are, and it's a pretty amazing thing. But doing this stuff, man, is... I've been watching a lot of Jackass lately, and you realize just how much those guys, even in that, when they screw around in the rodeo rinks and stuff, they're doing stupid stuff when these people put their lives on the line all the time for the entertainment of it. And because they actually understand the animals and they want to know the animals, and it really puts it into perspective, you know what I mean? Like, they are doing it because they care, and they can't, what he just said, you can't imagine doing anything else.
And then you could see the look on Brady's face.
Yeah.
Yep, Matt, yep. It's all natural lighting. The color grading is really minimal, just letting the sky speak for itself.
Sometimes the best thing to do is to have as minimalistic anything as possible.
I think there's an unfortunate tendency in certain films to just over color correct or over color grade it, and you're washing out the natural beauty of things.
Yeah.
There are examples where that works, like if you're going for something super stylized, but
yeah, like Michael Bay and his oversaturation of everything. Like, that's Michael Bay's style, and that's great, and that's
fine.
But
he's also not showing like lingering shots of the Dakota plains in his film. So,
but if you're going for that, let it speak for itself, because there's nothing like the natural beauty of the world, man.
There's really not.
And I think people forget that. You love to see him walking back in, and he's embraced by everyone for being here, you know?
Yeah. You can see how happy he is, too.
Yeah. Because he cares. This is his life. Like,
it's his world. It's all he knows right now.
The shots of the horse's eyes are so amazing because you can see the soul of the animal. As weird as that might sound, you can literally see into what those horses are feeling and thinking.
Oh
my God, just out the gate, man.
This is not something you would ever catch me doing. I'll say that much.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? And you know what's so interesting about this for me? These sequences, while not quite action sequences, are almost more thrilling to me than big budget action sequences because so much of it is so real.
I agree.
Like, I find myself intoxicated and drawn into what's happening, and I also find myself on the edge of my seat in a way I don't normally. Like, I get uncomfortable, and that's incredible work.
I agree.
Oh, hello, GoodRx.
Commercial. I have Sonic again.
They really want you to have fast food, and they apparently really want me to get medicated. I don't know.
And now it's GoodRx again. Yeah, they sort of feel like they come out of nowhere, Mike. They're pretty jarring.
Yeah. I mean, and they're, like, not well put in. That's the biggest problem, is that they're hitting in the most random spots.
We're back.
Some people don't get hints very easily.
Oh,
Just the way it was like the fuck you thing, and then he's like, yeah, fuck you, Brady. It's like, that's not really what she was saying.
it is though.
Yeah. I freaking that moment is so human. Him going to his sister's defense,
Yep.
and then you're so sure he's about to turn and swing, and he walks away instead. Again, human moments rock.
I do not like his friend Tanner so much.
No, Tanner he's one of those, how do I say this? You know the people in your life when people just go, well, that's just how they are, and we accept it instead of trying to make them better?
Those are the type of people you should get out of your life.
Yeah, and that's who he is, right? And she's so good in this, by the way.
I agree on both accounts. That is what he needs right now.
Yes. I think the whole world could honestly use a little bit of that right now.
Yep.
I think that if we could ever get just everyone smoke just a little bit, the world would be a much kinder, happier place. Not cigarettes, obviously. But the herbal variety, yes, we stan the herbal variety.
Look at that cat.
I know, the cat just like being on the truck and like wandering around is the best. I kind of love this moment right here too. Just this, she was different, but she's not anymore, and like almost the pride of she's gotten better.
Yep.
And him realizing that getting to be around more is part of probably what's done it. Well, that's one way to do it.
I think you've become a little ahead of me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I only had one commercial, or my commercial was shorter that time.
Yeah. That's okay.
We'll still be able to talk, and that's okay.
Oh, I'm not worried. It's just odd.
Yeah. I just love him like waking up
With all
and
the
he's got all
stars on his chest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his sister.
Me too. It shows, like, even now, just kind of what they've been dealing with, though. Someone coming looking for money for the rent because they haven't paid anything in months. And how hard that must be on anyone, you know?
Yeah. I like the Dreamcatcher tattoo a lot.
Me too.
It's really cool. You know what I don't like? The movie Dreamcatcher.
No, one of the worst Stephen King adaptations ever to exist.
I think maybe the first time I ever saw Damian Lewis. Maybe,
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe Band of Brothers was first.
Do you know who directed that movie?
Dreamcatcher. Irvin Kershner?
Very close though. You should
Irvin
look.
Winkler.
You should look. I think you might be surprised. Because if it's who I'm thinking, unless I got it wrong in my mind.
Oh, it's Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah. Funny, right?
I was close. You're right.
Yeah, I told you. Not far.
I knew it
off.
was someone who was involved with Star Wars.
It's also interesting because that movie also had Jason Lee, and that was one of the first times I remember seeing Jason Lee in something not comedic, really. Tom Jane's in that movie. Quite the movie.
It has a great cast.
Freeman's
You know, a
even in
movie
it.
I do kind of like is Dragonfly
I do kind of like that movie, actually.
with
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Do you remember, by the way, what animated short premiered in front of Dreamcatcher?
No
The
way.
Matrix. It was the Oasis one. Because that was right around the time, I think it was the year before Reloaded and Revolutions came out. Because those are
Came out the
03.
same year in 2003. Yeah.
Okay, so it was right before. So yeah, that was the Flight of the Oasis, I think. Is that what it was called? But that was the short that was like the prequel that led into it. I meant to say this, by the way. That moment when they're asking about the GED and like if he had any high school education, we forget how frequently that is for people in the world. Like there's people who don't finish school because they're doing things for their family. They're training horses. Like that's a very real thing.
It's impossible to watch the movie Dragonfly.
Is it?
It's not available on Prime. It's not available on iTunes.
Wow. That's so weird. I'm shocked. I wonder why. Her whole attitude towards bras makes me laugh.
Yep.
You're stubborn just like your big brother. Yeah, whatever. I still don't like it. Points for you. It would have been
The other
really...
thing.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, I was going to say, this is just so random. It had been so cool if he had turned up in Eternals. That's all I was going to say. Just because I think he's such a cool actor.
Maybe.
Yeah, you never know.
The other thing I think this and Nomadland have in common, and what Chloe has done with them, is showing insight into a small, unique aspect of American culture that we don't know that much about unless you're in it.
Yeah, and again, shining a light on a part of America that we tend to overlook. Again, I mean, to the point of the thing about high school and the GED, like, it's a very real thing for people in this side of the world, in this type of life, where they may not finish. And that's a real thing. Like, there's a real, like, it's about being able to be yourself and be handy, and the world is different for that. Like, it's just interesting because for a country that we talk about, like higher education being so important, you forget there's an entire subsect that doesn't look at it that way. That was a weird dissertation. I apologize.
I don't think I've made my opinions about college private.
Have we ever talked about that? At least on stream? I don't know. I couldn't remember.
I did on Famous Last Words, actually.
Oh, that's
with Evan
right.
DeGraff.
That's right. Oh, God damn it. Another commercial.
Oh, I don't have one now.
That's probably why, because I'm a little bit ahead of you. So let's see if you end up with one, or if I end up behind you now.
His dad is selling the horse.
That's where I was when the commercial cut in. VH1.
Now I have a commercial, and guess what it's for?
I'm gonna guess Wendy's.
Sonic still.
Oh yeah, Sonic. Yours was Sonic. Matt's was Wendy's.
Yeah.
I was close though.
While there's a commercial, I'm reading this book, The Silver Arrow, which is written by Lev Grossman, who wrote The Incredibles, The Magician series of books. That was the basis for the TV show. It's such a delightful children's book. It reminds me a lot of Chronicles of Narnia or something Roald Dahl might have written.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it'll make a great movie one day. Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
He's angry. He's shooting his gun.
And he shot the rabbit. I'm a little bit ahead of you again.
Oh, Matt got it. Welcome to the Sonic fold. I love Sonic. I'm not going to lie.
There's a lot of Sonics down here by my house.
We have to drive to New Jersey to get to it, but
I haven't been in a bit, but maybe I'll go.
Cooked in that rabbit. So I had a rabbit as a pet, but I've also eaten rabbit. So what do I know?
That line when he's like, I just want to ride the horse again, like one last time, even though it's going to a good home, is just so beautiful.
That's interesting, because I know they have them in New Jersey, like I said, in Pennsylvania. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're kind of fun. They're a throwback. You park outside.
I think he's legitimately getting a tattoo on screen, like while they're filming here.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
Not that either you or I know anything about getting tattoos.
What? No. Tattoos? Never. What?
I wouldn't recommend watching the next Box if you want to see all my tattoos.
I can't wait to get another tattoo. I wanted to get one before COVID, but I wasn't willing to get one during COVID, unfortunately.
I got one in February, right before the shutdown, and after my second vaccination shot, which is next week.
Yep.
I'll probably go get another one.
Yeah, I think as soon as I get vaccinated, I'm going to line one up and go.
Also, for those who are watching, and I know it's not many of you, and thank you for hanging with us. I know this is a more subdued, independent film than we often do.
I love all of you for being here.
I think I'm going to put up those MHCN logo on TeePublic if anyone wants to buy that.
I'm actually going to get one too, just because I think it's so awesome.
I mean, yeah, of course. I know Brandy yesterday on Twitter said she wants it as a hoodie, so why not? If you want to buy it and get us some money, fine by me. That shot with the silhouette of the brim of his hat and then the horse.
Oh, it's so good.
Gorgeous. Also, I would be remiss to not talk about this as we're watching this. Michael Wolf Snyder, who did the sound mixing on both this and Nomadland, he was on set recording the sound, killed himself this week.
I saw that.
Which is a tragedy, and I'm so sorry to his family. I have 2 points I want to make about this. The first is there's always help out there. There are hotlines you can call. There's always people to talk to if you feel alone. And then about the film, one of the things that Chloe and him did in both this and Nomadland is when they were done shooting a scene in a particular location, they would just sit and record the ambient noise for an extended period, which I really think you can tell when you watch it how much the ambient noise, like in this scene here, the whipping wind, the hand brushing the horse is beautifully in the sound mix.
Yeah. The shot of him riding the horse right now is just makes me emotional, man, just watching it. Yeah, that broke my heart when I saw the news about that. And Chloe actually released her own statement through THR, I think.
So did Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
So as we watch a film he did beautiful work on, and my God, this shot.
Yeah,
With the
that was the
sun in
one
the
I was
background.
talking. Yeah, that was the one I was talking about.
And then it cuts
Dude.
to the wide shot.
The shot when he kisses the horse, and then like the horse looks back at him when it's gonna leave, just breaks my heart.
Also, I just want to apologize for saying that he killed himself. The proper term is he died by suicide. If I was insensitive about that, I do apologize.
And
did not mean anything by it.
I'll say this too. That and Maxwell kind of said it, but there's always people around. There's always ways to find help if you really need it. Taking care of your mental health is super important, you guys. Let me tell you.
The pain you can see on his face of having to get rid of his horse.
That's what I was saying. It's destroying me. And the way the horse looked back at him was just...
Yeah. Chloe won the Critics' Choice Award last night, and in her speech talked a bit about him. This to me is the money shot right here. His face and this wide shot here.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
And then you can hear the thunder in the background. And then this shot of the saddle.
Yeah.
With the dust blowing and the you could frame these shots and hang them up.
You really could. I mean, as someone who lives in a state like Arizona, there's literally places that sell art like that, you know, just of the plains of Arizona and the mountains and the way things look. Like, it's beautiful, man.
So I was talking about earlier, there's these scenes in the film where he's trying to break and train the horses. This is the first of those. And just the way the communication builds between the human and the horse.
Yep.
And you could only capture this if the actor knew how to do this for real, which Brady does.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him Coy because his last name is Jandreau.
The way that he's able to do this, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
these are some of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Because he's so good, man. Like, the dude is a great... Like, you're seeing a real-life person who's actually able to talk to these horses. He's a horse whisperer. It's incredible.
It's pure magic because it's authentic as it gets.
Yeah. Cool breeze.
Such a cool name for a horse, Cool Breeze.
When I was young, I got kicked in the stomach by a horse.
Oh, that sounds extraordinarily painful.
It was...
They are very powerful, strong animals.
Thankfully, it was like a pony, so it was young, and I didn't get like super, super hurt by it, but it is something I will never forget.
Even this, the way he sort of just like half gets on, puts a little bit weight on it to get him used to it.
Yeah, that line. You see how much calmer he is. He feels me. It's so great. Like, are we caught back up together?
You're a little ahead of me still.
Oh, okay. I love the look of this horse and the little white spots kind of
Yeah,
scattered
really
across
cool.
it. It's so cool. Man, no one can. This is just purely real magic.
Mm-hmm. What's
Hey,
up, Buck?
what's up, Buck? Buck, who is currently my enemy in fantasy hockey this week.
He just beat me last week. I was ahead almost the whole week, and then at the end he beat me. But I'm playing Dwayne this week, so it's a guaranteed win.
Hey, you're about to be 2, my friend. You're going to be at 2.
I know. I can't wait. I'm going to do better at fantasy baseball. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, you know, I played much better in fantasy last year, but you're going to beat me.
You were second and I was third last year, so it's not like...
Oh, yeah, you're right. I really did. I thought you beat me last year for whatever reason.
We were like points apart in second and third place.
That's what it was. And then, of course, James
won for the second year in a row. I'm on a commercial again, just so you know.
Yeah.
I am never going to use GoodRx just because I'm so tired of this commercial.
Me too. I love that there's a lady with a pet raccoon here at the livestock thing. Oh, bad night for me. One of my dudes started negative in fantasy.
The good majority of my team didn't even play today. Oh, this is a new commercial. The Visa Flex card from WellCare.
Hey, Buck, I'm going to need you to go easy on me in fantasy this week. Not sure my heart can handle losing is all I'm saying. I'm not asking you to throw it, but...
And now to an auction.
Yeah. These old, like, slot machines and stuff are so funny to me, too.
I like how the little girl shakes his hand.
Yeah. Okay, Buck, I see you. I'm going to remember that. Oh, man, everything about this.
We don't talk about that. Chickens.
Once again, the way he's able to like walk up to a horse and just feel the horse, be one with that horse, like there's nothing like it, man.
It's a magical trait.
Yeah. It's just so incredible to me. I love that his name is Apollo.
You're a little ahead of me.
Yeah, it's this damn commercials. I'm sorry, bud.
No, it's fine. It happens.
I think I'm coming up with a question for this.
Ooh.
Oh, really, Dipper? Hi. Come here. Yeah. Well. Okay. Good boy, Dipper. Good. Yeah. Good, Dipper. Ooh, yeah. Bag of weed.
That shot of the horse's face.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
I
good.
like how from a filmmaking and cinematography point of view, she basically treats the horses like characters.
Right, and that's what
But
I
in a
mean
way
is,
that feels elegant. Not like I'm not talking about like Racing Stripes or any of these movies with talking animals. They feel human even though they're horses. It's wild.
No, I know, and that's what I meant earlier when it was like even the shots of their eyes felt so human and so soulful.
Mm-hmm.
Like you knew the horse in that moment, which is so crazy because you never think about that, right? You never think that someone out there is going to make a movie where the animal feels that human, I guess, to you.
Yep.
This. God. The fact that he only gets $500 for the saddle just. I love that moment. I just love the way that he says, I see a lot of these young guys come in, they can't be rodeoing forever, and he looks at it and he decides to go the other direction.
This movie is very slowly about a guy who can't do what he wants anymore and is having to sell stuff to make his money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. I think he's too compelling and talented not to do something again.
Hey, man, I live in a state where we could make a Western. Maybe we write a script, we'll reach out to him.
And that right there, he decides to keep it at the last minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm out of focus. There we go.
That, like I said, that to me was just a beautiful moment that it's so good.
Darn it. Burger time.
Yep. Oh, God.
So nice. So nice that his dad did that for him.
Yeah. Just watching him break the horse is unreal. It's just so incredible to me.
Mm.
I just love the way this is shot too. Like, I know we talked about it earlier, but there's this like fly on the wall element to it, as you said, that's very documentary like. But the way the camera moves up and down, like, I know I'm a little ahead of you, but it like falls behind the wood a little bit, and it'll like pop back up. Like,
yep,
it's just cool.
I think some of it was logistical, like they having to stay away to not scare the horse, but also it just works.
Oh, it does, and it really just adds something. Like, I find it just so interesting.
It's like every choice is as restrained as and naturalistic as possible.
Mm-hmm. I'm never going to use you now, Good RX, so congratulations.
I love his whooping.
I do too.
That shot right there. Commercial.
Yeah, it came at the most inconvenient time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, guys. This is frustrating.
These shots of him riding Apollo, though, through the fields are just, like, next level gorgeous. And the one thing you have to say, too, is that you really feel like because we're seeing it and it's so real, but just watching these connections with the horse is just so fascinating because it takes a very special human to be able to do the things that he's doing. And to be able to really, like, make a horse do the thing that it's doing now. Not anyone can do it.
We're back. Good. That's a shorter commercial.
Yeah.
Let's go for a cruise. I love that.
Yeah, it's so good.
These shots are
just incredible.
Extraordinary.
Well, and that's what I was talking about while you were in commercial break, was like the shots as he's starting to stand a little bit on it. You know, you really feel like it's so incredible what he's able to do with
I'm wondering, they're probably just in a car with the camera, huh?
They'd have to be, and it's far enough away that you're getting the shot without scaring the horse.
It's so steady. It's so well done.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the movie, the budget was nothing.
Yeah. Well, I would not be... I mean, I'd have to look, but I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of this was also... Because it looks like it was shot digital. I could be wrong. So if it was shot digital, it very well could have been a lot of handheld, too. Which gives it that documentary feel. God, the ambient noise and all this is just so incredible.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I'm at the scene when he walks in with all the horses and you can hear thunder in the background. Whoa, 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 whoa. I want to be able to. I would love to be able to do the thing that these people do in a way. Like, it takes a special person to be able to jump on these horses and to tame them and to really connect with them the way that he does. And I know I keep focusing on it, but it's just so crazy to me.
Yeah, they shot it digitally on the Arri Amira camera.
That makes sense.
Which is a really light camera. It's good for like shoulder shots, and the cinematographer said Chloe and I knew going in that we'd be shooting in a wide range of uncontrollable locations and often challenging lighting conditions. So they like this camera because of its versatility and ergonomic ease, which is so important. It's lightweight, so well balanced on the shoulder, but you're still getting the highest cinematic image quality with great skin tones and dynamic range.
It shows.
It does. And it has a 35 millimeter sensor in it. I mean, it's like a $35,000 camera, so it's not a cheap camera. Like, it's digital, but it's like high end. We're not talking like a Black Magic Pocket or a Red camera, which are nice and very good, don't get me wrong.
No, this is...
Yeah, the funny thing is, too, with cameras and camera selection, like, it's not just the body of the camera. So much of it is the lenses you choose. Because even if you're shooting digital or on film, you still have such a myriad of lenses to choose from. You have, and lenses, if well maintained, never go old, which is why I love when you hear like Tarantino shot certain things with lenses from the 70s. And it's also color grading. Sometimes like I was saying earlier, I think films overdo it on the color grading to give it this like professional sheen look, which ends up looking like TV and takes away some of the cinematic nature of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my talk on cameras and lenses.
It's beautiful. We taught something.
And he passed out.
Yeah. They just this idea that he has to give it all up again because they tell him again. It's like, this is bad for you. You know, you need to stop. And just this shot of him after, just he's so young, and to be so young, and for them to be like, you have to give up the thing that you care about so much, like it's life,
devastating.
Yeah, it's totally life crushing, soul crushing, I should say. It breaks your heart, man.
He says so much by saying so little.
That's why he's such a great actor, even though he's not like an actor. You know what I mean? It's what we've been talking about this whole time. Like, it's
This
remarkable.
silhouette shot here,
yeah, with the horses,
gorgeous. Yeah, just.
Movies like this, man, just they really remind you how large the world is and how beautiful it can be to be a part of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to, as much as I love my action movies and stuff, like the life affirming movies like this just,
I mean, my taste. I love action movies too, but my taste goes more towards this.
right.
Which was evident, like comparing our top 10s of last year.
Oh yeah.
We just, but I like all time, and that's, I my philosophy on movie watching is watch it all. Don't be closed-minded towards one particular thing, because you hear these people, but who are like, well, I don't like independent films; they're boring. I only watch action movies. Or conversely, people who love serious cinema and make fun of the MCU or Star Wars or John Wick or whatever.
Right.
I am an equal opportunity. I love Mission Impossible. I love Underworld, and I love stuff like this. So
yeah, I mean, I'm
yeah.
someone,
This is a good point. Acting can be taught, but screen presence can't. I agree with that.
The truth is, man, like, I'm as much a fan of a guy like Scorsese or, some of the great filmmakers like Robert Altman and Frank Capra as much as I am watching Michael Bay blow stuff up for 2 hours. Like, I love how different cinema can be.
Hell, I love The Island.
Yeah. I mean, I love the journey that I can go on for different movies. That's all it is.
Commercial.
It's at the most inopportune moment again.
It really is so poor. It's so jarringly put in. I'm so forlorn. And we're back. And now he's giving lessons.
Yeah, he's giving lessons. Well, he did that thing. He started doing it again, and look what happened. I love that he's got Lane's shirt, and it gave Lane so much success, and now he's going to do the same thing for someone else.
Yep.
It's just such a beautiful moment.
Little stitches.
A little stitches. What a great line.
Yep. Chaps. Nothing says it's going to be a good day when you try on some chaps and they fit perfectly.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think they actually like deliberately choose points where they're cutting from location to location to fade out and cut in a commercial. Here, it's just random.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna guess
don't
that
think
it's a
there's
program.
anyone actually editing it. I think it's just an algorithm that's like every, I would guess, 30, 20 minutes. There's got to be a commercial.
And it's a terrible algorithm. I get why they're doing it, but there should have been a better way to
Look. The fact that a film like this is able to be viewed for free is wonderful. So I'm not going to complain. For the purposes of a watch along, or when we're two people are trying to watch it together, the fact that the commercials are not at the same time, is confusing and unfortunate.
Agreed.
A little wrestling.
Yep. He's still getting that tattoo too, which I love.
Again, you're ahead of me. I'm not there yet.
I know. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's just so the thing I like about it is that from where you see it the first time to when you see it now, you realize how much time has passed too, because it's continuing to be made.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with his hair at the beginning of the movie, and so on and so forth. She does such a great job of creating a passage of time in the way life is, which I kind of
agree.
Appreciate.
Like what he's going through would be if someone said to you or me, for some medical reason, we can't watch movies anymore.
100%. And I would.
Which I can't. I mean, the only thing would be is if we lost our eyesight.
Yeah. And what they're doing with Lane is really incredible too. I know I'm still a little bit ahead of you, but like seeing them go this way for Lane, just remarkable.
The fact that Lane agreed to, be this vulnerable.
Yep.
I agree, Mike. Sound of Metal and this would be brilliant companion pieces. Sound of Metal was one of my favorites last year. Even in the filmmaking style, the restraint and the naturalism.
Right.
But it's missing an apostrophe. The narrative parallels of a medical ailment causing someone to not be able to do what they love anymore is very, very similar.
Yeah.
It's smart. Have you seen The Sound of Metal, PJ?
Not yet. I'm looking forward to it. It's on my list.
Have you seen Nomadland yet?
No, just because I've been so caught up with everything else. I've watched more CSI in the past 2 weeks than I'd like to admit.
I get it.
Yeah, I usually have my MacBook over here while I'm working, so I can.
Have you watched Raya and the Last Dragon yet?
Nope, and I spent $3. I paid for it though. At least I did give it its money. I'm gonna watch it soon. man. I just love this whole scene so much.
I love this so much, how they find a way for him to still feel and experience what it was that he loved.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like, I thought that was such a beautiful thing to do. And what a way to try to make sure that he could still feel it in a way.
Yeah.
Because, again, his whole life changed because of an accident. And to be able to do this and give him a little bit of that when his life is so different now, that's truly remarkable. And for Brady to go out of his way to make sure he does it, because he knows what he's going through, being told that you're not really able to do the stuff that you can do.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me. I just think it's so remarkable. So human, so beautiful. Jesus Christ, good RX, go the fuck away.
It's like, way to ruin it. I'm trying very hard not to cry at all this. When I first saw this in theaters, the first time I was sobbing for like the whole movie. Sonic.
Better than the RX, my friend.
Good RX. Oh, boy.
Yep, there it is.
Vision, dental, hearing. Hey there in PJCN land. I hope you're enjoying this watch along of the rider. Brought to you by WellCare. 1-844-962-GFY. And we're back. Oh, here he goes. He's crying.
Yep.
In the car. You know, he sees in his friend what could happen.
Yep.
To him.
It's fucking heartbreaking.
if he had another head injury. Fell off.
Well, even the seizures, right?
The seizure could cause him to fall or
Yeah.
get worse.
Yeah. I just that moment when he basically has fans who show up, like, and they're just so impressed. They're like, that's him, that's Brady. It's so good, but also heartbreaking because they want to see him ride again, and he has to tell him, he lies to him. Ugh.
The shot of him with the gun, I'm behind you in bed.
Yeah,
it's very Taxi Driver.
It is 100%.
And Brady has a very similar presence to a lot of those 70s actors.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I was saying earlier, it reminded me a little bit of those early Scorseses and the Altmans of the 70s and the Coppolas. Like, there's a very naturalistic feel to all of this.
So cute.
Poor Apollo.
Thank you. The movie just gets sadder and sadder as it goes on.
I know. The worst part is there's really not anything you can do about something like that with a horse.
Nope. It sucks.
It's fucking heartbreaking. But then, I think the beautiful thing about it, though,
That's funny. the look between them. It's so intimate.
I know.
I can't.
The worst part is like I said, like the beautiful thing about that moment in half a second is like he realizes that the horse is like him. Like, what if someone took him and shot him? You know, and he wants to turn around and try to fix it, and they can't, and it's heart-wrenching.
Fuck. I'm glad they don't show that and go through with it. Oh, those sound effects.
I know.
God. Because it's not just the gunshot, but you can hear the horse
thud.
fall.
Yeah.
And then the shot, the silhouette of him walking away. Oh my God, this movie.
God, these good RX commercials come at the worst fucking time. Sorry, I'm gonna say it every time.
And then this beautiful, beautiful shot of him in the shower in slow motion, the water hitting his hands.
Yeah.
And his face. Gosh. Where did the tears start and the shower begin?
I got an Addams Family, like old school Addams Family TV show trailer.
Oh, is that on Pluto TV? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Right in the middle of his beautiful speech.
That's what I'm saying.
I am so angry. He's saying, "I believe God gives us a purpose."
And then
for a cow waits to ride. Sonic, buy a burger. Oh, God.
God damn, man, this goddamn movie. It's so good though. But my heart.
Country music playing.
Yep. There's been a couple of times, and I don't know if you've noticed it, like, I can hear it especially with the headphones, is like when he's watching TV, there's music, like, by Bon Jovi and stuff that's playing in some of the rodeos, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
God, man, everything about this is just so good. That shot of his dad and his sister.
The look his friend gives him.
Yeah. There's a similar one, the shot of him and his dad, where his dad nods at him too, and it's just... The score right here too.
Oh.
Making that decision, the life-changing decision, and turning your back on it, just... The shot of Lane staring at him.
Sorry, I know we're being so quiet, guys. But
So fucking moving. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. You're still behind me, so I don't want to say anything. But what a movie. Sorry, it's so quiet, guys. But when Max catches up, we can talk.
God. Well, that was The Rider by Chloe Zhao.
It's just
Overwhelmingly beautiful movie.
overwhelmingly beautiful.
And its design is such that it creeps up on you with how emotionally devastating it's going to be, while also being affirming.
Yeah.
Written, directed, and produced by Chloe Zhao. How about that? Oof.
Remarkable, in my opinion. The way it just really goes for the heart, in the way that it just really, I don't know, man. There's something so special. Again, it was so human. It was so moving. And you just get so caught up in this story because you really want him to get through. And there's something about that ending, like I said, of him deciding to turn his back on it. He sees his dad. His dad nods at him, and he turns his back on it when he realizes what it could do to his family. And like, then just to be like, he goes and he sees Lane, and Lane's trying to tell him not to give up on his dreams, and he's like realizing, it's just such a hard thing.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, we talk so much about how this is loosely based on Brady Jandro's real life experience, and I think he did get injured and doesn't do rodeos anymore, but clearly he could still ride horses. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things too where Mike in the chat earlier was talking about screen presence, and they found someone who is so compelling, so soulful, really carries the movie on his shoulders. If Brady wasn't good, this movie wouldn't work, and Brady's spectacular, I think, and it's just an astonishing film. Yeah. And a great way to kick off our Women Filmmaker Month. And Chloe has been deservedly in the news a lot lately. She's winning awards left and right. She might be on her way to Oscar glory. And she has a big MCU movie coming out this year. So to those who watched it tonight and hadn't seen it, I hope you enjoyed it.
Well, and to your point, we did get a Streamlabs donation from one Mr. Mike K, who said, like I said earlier, I'm only 2 films into Chloe Zhao's filmography, and already she's becoming one of my all-time favorite storytellers.
I love that. I love that. That's great.
I just, wow.
Yeah, thank you all so much. I know this, again, was a more subdued watch-along than we normally do, but sometimes that's okay. Couple things coming up. Tomorrow night, Book Nook 2, hosted by Dwayne Burke and myself, our guest Aiden Kostick. We're going to be talking all about Children of Blood and Bone. Wednesday, Suddenly Soundtracks is back with Off the Record. Chris and the crew are going to go through Linkin Park's album Hybrid Theory. This was a special patron pick by Sean Wingblade. That's going to be great. And then Thursday, and guess what? I have a thumbnail now.
Yay.
Front Center Mez is back with our guest Andrew Kober. Like I said, he's been on Broadway in so many shows, from Hair to School of Rock to She Loves Me, and more and more and more. I'm really looking forward to talking with him. He's a delightful and funny guy. That'll be Thursday. And Friday, Watchalongs and Women Filmmaker Month continue with The Invitation by Karen Kusama. This was an executive producer pick by a great Brandy Parker. On behalf of myself and PJ, you can find PJ on all social media at PJ_Campbell. He is the head writer of the Movie Trivia Schmodown. Be nice to the writers. You can find me at Cinemaxwell on Twitter and Letterboxd, Cinemaxwell Inc. on Instagram. Have a good night. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Get vaccinated when you're able to. And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.